What's up? Dennis here, Analog Archives. Today I want to talk about death metal. I've been kind of leaning towards thrash a lot, which is fine. Love thrash, obviously. But I wanted to do more like an underrated death metal cassette only. I was going to mix it up. I was going to have CDs, tapes. I started even doing the tapes, and I'm like, shit, I already have way too many tapes to show. So, what we got in the back, JL America Sampler or CD. I have this on cassette too, but I have another one on CD. It's got a pretty funny cover, like a skeleton surfing on a bunch of bones. I couldn't find it though. I don't know where it is. But it's chock full of goodness with Deteriorate, Morpheus Descends, Killing Addiction, basically Master's Hammer, Samael. What else is on here? Blasphemy, Beherit, Acheron, Disastrous Murmur, Organic Infest, Impaled Nazarene, Pyogenesis. Fucking banger of a compilation. Lovely cover. These guys, I don't know, little devil guy. Isn't that like the David Lee Roth thing or something? Got me, I can't remember. Anyways, what I'm drinking. This is the Santa Cruz Mountain Brewery with a giant double IPA, kind of a giant dippa. So based on the amusement park there at the boardwalk, the Giant Dipper. This is a double IPA. One of my buddies, James, thank you for this. He was there about a week ago, picked this up for me and a few other beers from California. So appreciate it, man. Anyways, on to the list. Some of these you're obviously gonna heard. You guys have heard. Whoever watches my channel, a lot of you guys all know these. It's for more mainstream. If you into like just the standard Cannibal Corpse, Morbid Angel, fucking that kind of death metal, Death, Grave, Entombed, all the big names. This kind of goes into more other bands that I think are deserving of giving them a listen, instead of diving into the same band's catalog when you can be listening to something that's possibly better, in my opinion. Let's start off with this band is from France. This is Merciless with Abject Offerings. Fucking killer shit. I don't think I appreciated this when I got it. I have their other one too, Colored Funeral, which is also really good, but it's on CD. This is cassette only edition. OG cassette only edition. This was, what label is this on? Medusa? Weird. I think Coven was on Medusa. These guys are from France, like I said. They play really, what do I want to say? Like a mix between like maybe like Florida scene. Morbid Angel comes to mind, from '92, but just has a really good atmosphere to this that makes it well worth listening to. Very memorable riffs, in my opinion. Fucking check it out. Merciless with a Y. Up next, these guys are from Poland. Hazael with Thor. These guys are like a fucking Swedish death metal style, but they don't really have the HM2 sound. This is from '93. Kind of more like Unleashed, which you kind of get from that cover. Really good. Again, just fucking heavy. Just really good stuff, straight up death metal. No keyboards or anything like that. Just really good stuff. A little bit black metal here and there. Not much, but really good tape. I think this only came out on tape when it was first. No, there was a CD that came out on this, but this is the original label too, from Poland. Fucking great shit. But if you like Unleashed, Entombed, Dismember, go for that band. Anyways, up next, these guys. Here comes some Swedish death. This is Ceremonial Oath with The Book of Truth. Oh, fucking amazing shit. If you like early At the Gates, it's got ex-members of Dark Tranquility, In Flames, Hammerfall, Cemetery. Bunch of bands members were in this. But this fucking rips. It's melodic death metal, but it's super dark. I wouldn't consider it melodic like Dark Tranquility type stuff. It's fucking dark as fuck. Great shit. Pick this up. The second one's okay, but that one leans more melodic. I think it's called Carpet. Great name. Anyways, up next, these guys again, another Polish banger. Ghost, the real Ghost. This is The Lost of Mercy. Always like that on these releases. What label is this? Loud Out? Loud Out. All the Loud Out had that little dragon. All their cassettes had that little metallic dragon on the cassette cover, which is fucking sick. Anyways, yeah, fucking, again, crushing stuff. Super thick guitars on this one. Not much to say. 94, again, gives no fucks. Just even the opening riffs on the first song just destroy pretty much anything that's coming out today. Here we go. These dudes are from the UK. Impaler, Carnal Deity. Another kind of overlooked gem. And again, probably because it was on Grindcore Records. This was like the one at Camelot that nobody was like picking up. They're like, what is that? Impaler. Never heard of these guys. Back then, so many fucking bands were coming out with shit. You didn't know what to buy. I took a chance and grabbed this, and probably wasn't super impressed when it first came out, just because there were so many other bands. It does sound a lot like a UK death metal band. I hear Early Cancer, Benediction, and then vocals sound a lot like Immolation. Fucking great fucking shit. Again, check all these out if you like death metal. You'll probably like most of these if you haven't heard them already. This one's pretty cool. These guys are from Sweden. Comic-Con, Megatrends, and Brutality. This was like side project. Couple of guys. I don't really think they went on. I think they were in another band called Omnivore or something like that. But this album had L.G. Petrov after he got fired from Entombed. He hooked up with these guys. His vocals sound fucking amazing on this. So it's straight like left hand, and then he did this. So it's in that same vein, like before he started, I don't know, like his Wolverine Blues style vocals, where he's more shouting and less death metal. He never really went back to that style. Good songs on here. Definitely has it's death metal, has almost like a punk feel too. It's very thrashy. Has a punk feel that's, and like I said, I think it's a drum machine on this. I'm 100% positive it's a drum machine, but it doesn't sound like a drum machine. I think this band went on to, well, I know they went on to do 2 more records. I have the other one, which I had over here, which was not very good, not as good. Converging Conspiracies. This had Martin Van Druren on vocals. So they would get a different vocalist like on every album. It's okay. It's not as good, I don't think. The music's not as good. His vocals sound kind of weak too. Kind of a little less gruff, I guess is the word to use. Less brutal. But check it out. You might like it. Afflicted Prodigal Son. This one gets no love, man. Gets no love. Swedish, 92. Oh, the Comic-Con was 92 too. This shit is amazing. Overlooked, underrated. If you like technical death, it's got some proggy moments on it. I can kind of compare it to like a Tiamat or a clandestine era Entombed in some parts, but it's nothing like that. The bass is all over the place on this thing. Just super original death metal for the time, and they never got their I always loved this album too. It wasn't something I slept on. Always loved it. Before this, they were Afflicted Convulsion, which was had more of a grind element to it, more straight up heavy death metal. But not to say this isn't heavy, because it is. And the vocals are fucking just straight up death metal, death growls on this. Anyways, do yourself a favor if you haven't heard this, check it out, or if you haven't heard it in a while, passed on it back in the day, give it a listen again. It's fucking really good shit. Up next, speaking of good shit, Furball with Those Shredded Dreams. This is another underrated classic out of Sweden. Super fuzzy HM2 guitar sound. Fucking growly. Kind of on the death and roll side, but before death and roll was a thing. Their second album, they were more death and roll, I would say. Just using that as an example. But there are elements that I can hear on this. But for the most part, it's just straight up death metal. There is like some violin and some other stuff on here. But definitely check this out. I thought they were ahead of their time. Kind of groovy, doomy. I don't know if you can get this anymore. This is a Carrion Records press. This is a Polish press, I believe. But I have the CD of this, but I was after the cassette for a long time. Up next, these guys are another one. Man, this band, and I think this got re-released recently. I think can't think of it. Whatever. Shit. They're re-releasing everything. Can't think of it right now, but they re-released all their stuff. This album. This is Metal Mind copy on I don't know when this came out. This is another Polish press. Sacred Sin out of where were they from? Portugal. Sacred Sin. Check out, they had a video on MTV. I never saw it, but I heard a lot of people saw the video, called Dark Side. It's fucking sick, dude. They're like a mix of early Morbid Angel and like Sepultura, like schizophrenia sepultura type stuff. It sounds really good production, catchy songs. Check it out. This one, weird band name again. We're going with the Blurg. This is Blurg, My Embrace. I was after this one for a minute. Again, Red Dragon. This is super, you would think it was grindcore or something, but it's full-on death metal from the Netherlands. Vocalist kind of sounds like Thomas Lindbergh from At the Gates, but it's not. The music doesn't sound like that at all. Just straight up fucking killer death metal. Look at that. I don't think this ever got re-released, honestly. I think you could still only get it on CD or this cassette. This one never got the re-release treatment that I know about, but everything is these days, so who knows, maybe it has, which would be cool. I'd like to have the CD without paying a fucking $300 for it. Or vinyl. Up next, these guys are just brutal as fuck. Monasteer, Never Dreaming. This is the original press on Morbid Noise. This was only released on cassette. Again, Polish death metal, heavy, down tune, just crushing stuff. I don't know why they didn't use this logo on the front, but it's fucking sick. It's got a full layout. Always gotta be the one dude in the flannel. Everybody's like, dude, I told you wear black. Nah, man. It was cold out. I decided I'm just gonna wear my flannel and my shorts. I don't even know what this guy's wearing. Anyways, they look like they're all wearing the same sweatpants. They have like a band name on them. They're probably like Monaster sweats. They're like, dude, we got to get our own pair of jams out. Anyways, up next, these guys are from the U.S. I just got this tape maybe like last year. I think somebody re-released their shit too, but this is Psychopath with Making the Transition. Really good technical death metal, bordering on thrash. A lot of thrash elements on this, but it's death metal. I would say if you want to compare it to something like Ripping Corpse or Malevolent Creation with like some voivod tendencies to it. And this is just a Riva tape, but you got to see that cover because I have no idea what's going on this. I tried to figure this out for like 5 minutes today. I'm like, are these guys like climbing the electrical grid? And I don't know, is that an embryo over there? I have no idea. And that logo is horrible. Like, how did they think that anybody was going to want this? No. Sorry, guys. But they rule. So go figure. Never judge a book by its cover. Up next, these guys are from France, another French band. This is Crusher. This is their first full length. Probably, I think they might have had an album after this. I have the EP that was before this as well. But this is Corporal Punishment. Really good shit, man. Straight up old school death metal. Not much inside. Just the lyrics. I mean the song titles. Straight up, just heavy fucking. Some parts remind me of Napalm, and this is from '92. The Psychopath was from '91, if I didn't mention it. Um, just heavy, fucking crushing shit, dude. Like the name says, they are a crusher. Mm. But check them out, because yeah, like Gorefest comes to mind when I listen to them. Just fucking early Gorefest, not like that fucking, what was that, 13 or something like that. I can't remember the names of those albums. They're horrible though. Chapter 13 or something like that. Anyways, off the subject. Last but not least, the great band out of Wisconsin, United States, Phantasm. Yeah, I've talked about Phantasm before. I believe I mentioned their demo on my favorite releases of all time, favorite death metal. This came out. This is the band re-released this. I don't remember what guy, but I talked to him on eBay. I think he had these on eBay, and I ended up talking to him about it. And he sent me both those. He sent me the first two. They're on Dread Records. Really good job. If you haven't heard these guys, classic 90s US death metal. This came out in 95. They played at like the first Michigan Death Fest. It's hard to compare these guys. They had a really, really original sound. Kind of like a mix between Deceased, Necrophagia early, and like they just had a sound of their own. The drums are just fucking. This album's fucking killer. Check it out. Classic US death metal. If you guys want a little something different, it's not, you know, run of the mill type Cannibal Corpse stuff. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Bonus today, I've been going through some old zines. Thought I'd share them. I have a lot of zines, but this is Sloth from '98. Got a Deceased ad on the back for Fearless Undead Machines. I don't remember where I got this, probably at a show. But these zines rule, just even for the ads and these things. And this one, it's got interviews with, you know what was funny about these? You'd have like, Phlebotomized is like the main band featured in here. But then you get all these like weird, like fucking Stuck Mojo bullshit. And I don't know if that was because they needed to pay for ad space. I'm guessing yes. But just, it had garbage too, like Dark Seed. Just Garden of Shadows. The ads are the best in here. Lost Disciple Records. Pessimist. Blood of Christ. The Crown. And then the reviews are just insane. I think that's why I wanted this. Just so, even though like every review is like a 5. Not like SOD. Obscenity. Anyways, just fucking great shit. Deceased. If you can find these zines at any time, fucking pick them up. They're just fucking priceless in my opinion. I'm always picking up old zines if I can find them. This one's fucking sick. IRD zine. I don't know the year on this. I'm guessing early 90s. Mortem, Demon Tales, Mangled Parish. Those are, it could even be earlier, honestly. Brutal Death Only. Okay, his list is updated in every issue. What he's listening to: Seance, Entomb, not Entombed, I'm sure that's a typo. Morbid Angel, Cannibal Corpse, Dismember, Gorguts, Carcass, Belial, Impaled Nazarene, Vader, Obituary, Malevolent Creation, Bolt Thrower, Absu, Grave, At the Gates, Hypocrisy, Napalm Death, Edge of Sanity, Cemetery, Conqueror, Atrocity, Death, Gorefest, Autopsy of Abyss. Now that's a weird one to put in there, but might be his buddy's band. But yeah, this is sick. Sick art. Really good shit. Look at this Acuron ad. Extinction of God, Morakiron, Horror of Horrors. That band rules. Apparently Horror of Horrors had their own little glossy photo. Which brings me to a story. There's Incantation. Went to go see, I don't remember what all the bands were, but Broken Hope was playing. And they had those glossy fucking 8x10s or whatever those things were of the band. They're sitting there at the table like, who wants to get these signed? You don't do that, dude. Come on, man. Like, they lost so much credit that day. People were ripping those things up, throwing them everywhere, spitting on them. They're like, did you really come here and think you were all that? Like, you're fucking Broken Hope, bro. Morpheus Descends. Demo reviews. But yeah, that was a funny story. They were just, at the end of the night, those things were all over the floor. This thing's sick. Mutilation, look at that shit. This is from Japan, early 90's. He wrote a handwritten letter in there thanking me for ordering. Convulse. This is fucking chock full of great shit. Tormentor. Nunslaughter. With art too. Salem. Salem were sick. I forgot about Salem. I have that demo. Speaking of Phantasm, there you go. So this had to be 95 then, right? If it came out, if the Abominable came out in 95. Hardware, they were cool. Phobia. Master's Hammer. Blood. Fucking just this, some amazing quality zine from Japan. Early Absu. Up next and last, we have Morbid Magazine. This is from Norway. Pure cult on this guy. This is the Mega Edition with Hobbs Angel of Death, Nuclear Assault, Mayhem. They are Death Crushers. Oh shit. They got like Dead up there too, like, I don't know what he's doing. He's like wearing bandages on his head. I don't know if I've ever seen that photo. Canadian Special with Oblivion. Oh, this is fucking Armorous. Who's gonna make my next list of underrated thrash? This band, First Blood from the UK, fucking killer fucking demo, man. I love that first demo. And what zine would be complete without a Wild Rags ad? Looks like I tried to color in the bloodlust there a little bit. Anyways, this is on gloss. Fucking amazing zine. Wish I had more of those. It's the only one I have of the Morbid. They did come out with like 8 issues or something. Anyways, I think that's all I got. I'm going to try to do another, maybe I'll do another thrash or death metal. I don't know. I've been listening to a lot of death metal, so probably, maybe I'll do an updated list. I've been getting a lot of shit. Anyways, take care. Thanks for subscribing and watching my videos.